There's concern among thousands of people across the state right now as the eviction moratorium is set to expire May 1st. On Monday, state lawmakers will decide whether to extend it through August. And this is a decision that has a huge impact on both landlords and tenants. And News 8's Allie Peters is joining us now with a closer look at what's happening with this. Allie?
Yeah, the pandemic has been a very tough time for landlords and their tenants. With the financial strain the pandemic has put on families, some have been unable to pay rent. But there's also concern for many landlords who aren't getting rent checks or much help from the government. The eviction moratorium was put in place to help struggling tenants hurt financially by the pandemic.
A lifting of the moratorium would be absolutely devastating.
But for landlords, the moratorium has done more harm than good.
It's crushing us at this point, to be honest.
The possibility of the eviction moratorium being lifted leaves many tenants worried about what's next.
Without this moratorium, the tenants are going to be homeless, and we don't want that because we already have an enormous amount of homeless folks already that are living in our shelters.
But the moratorium could also get extended, concerning many landlords who aren't getting rent paychecks.
It effectively functions like an enormous vacancy, but the difference is I can't refill the vacancy because there's still somebody in that unit.
The pandemic has hurt many families financially, leaving them with little money for necessities.
And I know a lot of folks are saying, like, what are tenants using their stimulus checks on? It's like, people are using that to survive. Like, people need food.
But landlords say losing revenue hurts more than just the person who isn't paying.
If I'm losing all of my rent on a few units, that's money that's not paying for that unit, and then that overflow can't get put into proactive repairs and maintenance for my good tenants that are paying. So I've got good tenants that are frustrated saying, how come we can't get X, Y, or Z done? And it's because the revenue simply isn't there.
And the city of Rochester and Monroe County have $40 million in rent relief funding available in grants. However, the citywide tenants union tells me there is a lot of documentation needed to apply, which they say makes it harder for certain groups like immigrants to apply for help. Live in studio, Allie Peters, News 8.
All right, Allie, thank you. That moratorium again set to expire May 1st. If it is extended, tenants would still have to fill out that form declaring financial hardship due to the pandemic. Once the moratorium is lifted, renters will have to pay back all their rent.